Welcome to Car Talk with Matty J. Another Tuesday night, more car-related topics as per usual. Here live on 98.9 Northwest FM. In the studio we got Alan and James. What's going on?
How you going?
How you going? Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Always happy to have you guys on. Tonight we're going to be having a bit of a discussion about, I guess, the three hottest hatchbacks for like around the 50-ish, 60 grand mark. That's not an A45.
Dacia Sandero.
Dacia Sandero.
Yes.
Good news, everybody.
Good news.
The Dacia Sandero. We'll get to that a bit later, but
we don't have to get to that.
but the Dacia Sandero is the best car in the world. Dude, I would buy a Dacia Sandero just because James Bay likes it. And on James Bay's
the official CarTorque car.
Oh, man.
Have all the decals, CarTorque decals, stickers.
On a Dacia Sandero. And have a picture of James May's face. Yeah, hey, look, it's the Dacia Sandero. Man, you were following me today, Alan, on my way to the studio, and you saw me go bloody run off the road.
Yes, I did. I initially, when I saw you swerve out of the way, I thought, "What's Matt doing?" And then I saw the car come through afterwards. It made a lot of sense, and it didn't make a lot of sense as well.
Oh, jeez, just people just driving all over the road. Please, as we say on every episode,
slow down.
Just chill out.
Yeah, chill.
Especially at this point, Christmas is over. You know, you can take it easy now.
Shopping's done.
Sorry, Matt, I derailed what the topic was for tonight. You forgot to finish.
Oh, no, all good.
My bad.
Well, the topic is hot hatchbacks.
Yeah.
For like
But you had specific ones.
specific ones, and they are the Focus RS, the Golf R, and the Honda Civic Type R.
Yep.
So three very different cars. One big ambition, I guess, with all of them. Like just they're like a really really fast. You know, they are fast cars. We're gonna get to the bottom of them very soon. But Alan, you said you've had your car serviced recently.
Yes. Oh, I decided to get on doing my own service.
Okay.
So
Filter and oil.
Yeah, filter and oil. I also bought some tools and everything else and car ramps. I decided rather than go the just jack stand route, I wanted to feel a little bit safer, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Ended up getting a really good deal on two 1 ton car ramps, so they're 1 ton each.
Yep.
And it was only like $80 free shipping.
That's all right.
And the only problem was, because obviously you should always test things before you finally go to use them, I tried to put the ramps under the car. And before the ramp would hit the wheel, it would hit the bumper.
Yeah.
And so I'd just take a trip to the hardware store and buy some wood. And now it works. It works fine. The car rolls up nicely without scraping anything. But the entire service, we'll call it an adventure, was a bit of a learning experience. The drain bolt came out very nicely.
Yep.
Started pouring out the oil. I also ended up using an oil flush.
Yep.
Just want to get rid of any kind of sludge buildup, which may have caused a leak. I don't know yet.
You've got a leak. Is it a rocker cover leak? Or
might be
because usually that's pretty common.
I think it's from because towards the outside of the boxer.
Yeah.
And so I managed to pull the drain pan out. The drain bolt out. Drain the oil. Next, moving on to the oil filter. That was where the trouble started.
Now, from memory of me working on some boxer engines, and seeing them getting worked on, they are in a kind of an awkward spot, right?
Yep, right near the exhaust housing.
Yes.
Well, yeah, one side's the exhaust, one side's the oil pan. There's not much room to get anything in there. And I was under the impression that filters are hand tightened, and so they should be hand loosened. Never have I been so wrong. And I heaved and I hoed, and I even asked my uncle to come over, who's a bit stronger than me, and he gave it his best. And nothing happened. So it was getting late, so I just left the car on the ramps. I put the drain bolt back in, and I just waited till the next day. Went to one of my auto parts stores, and ended up getting a filter removal tool.
Yep. And
chucked it on the breaker bar, and then I started pushing and pushing. And then it budged. I used a lot of strength, and it budged a very, very small amount, maybe like 2 millimeters.
Yep.
And then I said to myself, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
You're kidding.
And
oh no!
After that point, the filter was crushed from the bottom.
Oh yeah,
like crushed. So I had to actually put a little rag in between the tool and the filter to finally get some room again, and it came off pretty nicely after that.
There you go. I'm sure. I'm sure it will.
So never forget. I always confuse my left and right, so the righty tighty, lefty loosey, comes in handy.
Mate, it definitely does. It definitely
saves lives.
But mate, that WD-40 and duct tape is all you need to
holds the world together.
But overall, it was. apart from those issues, it was a pretty good experience. Just being able to work on my own car, like it's just an oil change.
Yeah.
But comparing to paying upwards of $110, especially for more premium oils, I'm looking at even higher than that.
Yep.
Versus just paying, I think I paid, it was on special $20 for the oil, $10 for the filter, and it was a fully synthetic oil.
Okay. Was that from a local auto parts store?
That's very super cheap. I guess
They're cheap, are they?
They are. It was a nice special. So for $30, I don't count the tools because I use the tools in other aspects of life.
That's
with the car.
Yeah.
And so once a year I'll probably take the car to the mechanic, and once a year I'll probably service it myself.
Yeah.
Which I think is a pretty good deal. And overall, it's made me a little more confident to, I guess, deal with other problems that the car might have later on.
Yeah, just have a play around with things.
Yeah, I've got the tools. I can start unbolting things if I need to. Always maintaining a level of safety, of course.
100%.
But I think it's a great place to start with the oil change, and then you can progress to further things.
Yeah. Did you put oil around the seal of the oil?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Very good, very good. Well, look, we're going to go to our first break of the night. We're going to get to a song by Foster the People. The song is called Sit Next to Me. Really, really cool track. It's pretty new. I've only heard it recently. I assume it's new. It is new. And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Car Talk with Matty J. We're talking all things hyper. I guess they're called hyper hatches because they're more than a hot hatch. They're pretty nuts. And there were a lot, as I previously mentioned on the show before. I reckon hot hatchbacks are like the best performance for your buck you'll get anywhere. And the three we're talking about today,
and you can actually drive them as a daily, not like other performance cars.
Yeah, you can drive a Mustang as a daily.
People do.
But they're everywhere.
A lot of people do.
But the thing is, I think I'm kind of over the Mustang at the moment because they're just everywhere.
They get kind of boring. That's why I think we were talking last week about how they should bring the Camaro just to shake things up a bit. But it's gonna when they do, it's gonna be over $100,000,
and that'll be like a Walkinshaw product, won't it?
A HSV product, yeah. So
how much is the Mustang?
A GT, $60,000.
Okay, so it's not even in the same competitive.
I mean,
price,
it's $40,000 difference, really.
Yeah.
For essentially the same.
You could buy two cars. So you could have the Mustang and like another car as a family car.
Yeah.
For the same kind of money.
I mean, it's where you're paying the money is for the conversion, to left to right, which is quite a big expense. Even if they're getting them at like cost price, it's still going to be quite expensive to do.
And I guess when you're reaching that situation as well, you wouldn't get any kind of base Camaros. You'd probably get the ZL ones. You'd want
a ZL one, right?
Like if you're already paying that much money, you're not going to go for I'll just take an SS. You want the ZL one, the hardcore package.
Yeah, mate. ZL one. I mean, they got a few options there.
Yeah.
I think there's a ZL1E as well, like which is like I can't remember which is like the really like hardcore GT350 fighter in the States. I have to double check that. But in terms of like bang for your buck, hot hatches are really where it's at. And like if you've regularly listened to the show, you know that I love the Focus RS, and I will be getting one day. But it does have its flaws, as do pretty much every car.
Was the head gasket leak going on?
Yeah, so apparently it's been found out what the issue was, because they're running the same engine as the 2.3 litre Mustang with a 4-cylinder EcoBoost, but obviously with different internals and some of the ones that have a failed word, like the ones that have failed, there's only a select few of the early builds that for some reason have received the Mustang head gasket instead of the Focus head gasket, which is a different part number.
So the same engine but different.
It's got different parts, yeah. It was.
So this was a build issue.
It's a build issue, yeah. It's a mistake
because there was open deck design with the engine.
Well, you got to remember the engine's in a different position. It's east west or transverse, not longitudinal. So, I mean, there was various differences, but one difference in particular is because of the more power the Mustang makes, not the higher heat it produces, and the stronger, and like I guess the more harsh conditions it would be put under. They had a different head gasket. They had a whole bunch of other different stuff. There's been a mistake somewhere where the early models have received Mustang head gaskets for some unknown reason, which is a little bit narrower, and it's causing to get like a heat sink in the engine, which a heat spot, which is when the car cools down, it's starting to warp and causing a head gasket issue and failure and ruining engines, ruining heads, really causing a lot of strife,
causing a lot of customers to be upset as well.
I mean, it's big time. big time, and you can imagine why. I mean, this is like the most hyped hatchback of all time. I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
And it lives up to the hype. 100% lives up to. It's won every award in the book, but I guess with high reward comes high risk and high tall poppy syndrome. If it's got like an issue, people are going to bring it down. So. But I'm glad Ford have acknowledged it. Ford have said, okay, we know this is an issue. This is what the issue was with the early cars. Mm-hmm. Pretty much the cars after like the first little batch made don't have the issue.
Okay.
According to Ford, which is pretty much true. I think it's true because there hasn't been that many of reports of it's only between certain VIN numbers.
Okay.
That they've had that issue. So, but I think if you get a later one, you'll be pretty right. But that leads us to the other two cars, the Golf R and I reckon the Civic Type R, which is a pretty crazy looking little Japanese hot hatchback. Where do we stand in terms of hot hatchbacks? Well, there's a lot to choose from, but for around the 50 to 60 grand mark, these three are the ones that are going to flush out you the most. So, from all accounts, all the crazily fast cars, the Golf R with a DSG is obviously the quickest because you can't really shift the manual that as quick as a DSG. But having said that, people it's a little bit clinical, like it's just a bit boring. It looks the same as the last 30 Golfs.
Golf's never changed.
And just has that DSG fart.
Boom. So the 845s have that noise as well. Actually,
I can't appreciate that for some reason. Doesn't appeal to me.
Doesn't appeal to you?
No.
I don't mind it, but
it sounds like something's going wrong. Like the first time I heard it happening,
wait, is your car right?
Golf, I was like, I think your gearbox or your exhaust
gas.
is like broken or something.
I think it's the fuel cut because the gears are changing that quick. It's cutting. The fuel cut's coming in. I believe this is what I've been told and what I've heard. And it's that's what gets you that fart noise.
Because I guess I'm more of a blow-off valve or a V8 overrun kind of noise guy.
Crackle and pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally understand, and I totally get that. But in terms of, performance, DSGs are really good these days. So, in terms of the stats, I mean, the three cars couldn't be, I guess, more different. We'll start with the RS. The RS is like 257 kilowatts, 440 newton meters. It's got the biggest displacement in 2.3 liters, but it's also, I believe, the heaviest at 1,575 kilos. So it's over 150 kilos more heavier than the Type R, which comes due to the to the all-wheel drive system. So the RS and the Golf R are all-wheel drive, whereas the Civic Type R is front-wheel drive. But uses a really tricky diff, similar to Ford's rear end they had on the previous RS, so they can really put the power down. And the Type R has the record for the fastest front-wheel drive car around the Nürburgring, which is pretty outstanding.
Say that again.
The Honda Civic Type R, the latest one, is the fastest front-wheel drive car in the
fastest front-wheel drive. I thought you said the fastest car.
Oh yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
Because nobody puts F into front-wheel drive.
It holds the record, and it's beaten some supercars. I think it's like faster than the Zonda, the original Zonda. So it's a quick car. But you'd expect it with 228 kilowatts, 400 newton meters. So it's a little bit down on power to the RS. But if you look back to the Golf R is 206 kilowatts and 380 newton meters. So it is considerably a good 51 kilowatts down on the RS and 70 odd newton meters of torque. But then again, the R and the Type R are only 2 liters, so they're losing that in that displacement. Now, I saw a review a couple of weeks ago of take out the GTI, but it was a GTI Golf R and GTI Type R and an RS around Winton Raceway, and the Type R Civic was like the fastest. It was by the most minute, it was 1/1000th of a second over the RS. And it just shows that you don't need to have all-wheel drive to be quick. But I find the RS, from all accounts, a lot more edgier car, a lot more fun.
I think it looks the best from what I can think of in my head.
Have you seen what the Civic Type R looks like?
I think so.
It's pretty crazy looking. I mean,
Too edgy for me. No.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a blue one today, and I didn't like it in blue at all. I don't really like it in white either. Like, even though white's its championship, I believe it's called championship white's its halo color. I reckon it looks best in the gunmetal grey it comes in.
Yeah, that looks alright.
Which is this color here.
Actually,
it looks pretty epic in that color.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
See, in the gunmetal grey, yes, but any other color, it looks like it's trying too hard.
Yes, I agree.
So,
yeah, maybe it's only
that's the
specific.
thing. Does everyone get the gunmetal grey, and then your car's not as unique anymore?
Exactly right. So like it's, I mean the red stands out. The white, it shows off all its accents too much.
Yeah, I don't like the white.
It's got a whole bunch of black stuff on it.
Probably the Focus RS looks the best.
So
overall,
in terms of
I'd give the money to the Focus RS.
Yeah.
But see, everyone reckons the Focus RS looks the best in blue. I reckon it looks best in white.
I don't like the blue.
It's a pretty out there blue.
Yeah. For everyone at home, you should be googling these things because we're talking about
rain. I think nothing beats it. But if you're going every day, possibly the white.
The white, because I reckon in white it looks.
Well, no, the one at the Mighty Car Mods in Winton, that was great. That was gunmetal grey. I think hatchbacks look good in the new hatchbacks look good. The hot hatchbacks in gunmetal grey.
Gunmetal grey, especially wheels.
Wheels and gunmetal grey are on point as per my Typhoon, which I've got now. But I reckon the Focus RS looks hot in white. I reckon it looks sinister in white.
Yeah,
it's a lot better looking in white than it is in the R and the Type R.
Yeah,
because it's people complain about people complain about the RS. Oh, it doesn't look as RSy enough.
It doesn't look RSy
because all the previous RS have been stupendously over massive guards and everything. But I reckon in white it looks hot. In the gunmetal grey it looks
yeah, I think that looks good,
pretty damn good too. But yeah, in terms of the Golf R though, I reckon it just looks like a normal Golf.
Yeah. That is definitely a problem with the Golf. It's just
in gunmetal grey it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
But I just think it just kind of looks like a normal Golf.
Yeah, it simulates too much with the regular models, so you're not really standing out as hard.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's not supposed to be as balls out as a Type R or an RS. It's meant to be more understated. Yeah, understated. I get that, but
yeah, but it's like if you liked the Golf 20 years ago, you'll like the Golf now. It's like the same
shape. Yeah. Same. Like, you can tell what the family line is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, look, VW Beetle and Porsche 911. They haven't really changed much over.
They still make Beetles. I haven't seen any.
We don't sell the new Beetles here anymore.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen them.
Americans love them for some unknown reason. So they sell quite well over there, but we stopped selling the new Beetle, I think, last year or the year before.
Okay.
Yeah, 2015 was the last time.
Yeah, I never see him.
I actually drove a new Beetle, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It was a TSI with it was like an FSI, so it was like a supercharged and turbocharged engine. It was weird, and it had the DSG, and it was just like you feel a supercharger, and down low, and then the boost comes in. It was smooth but weird. It didn't feel like a.
You're not supposed to be driving this car that fast.
I know, it was quick. Like it was surprisingly quick. It was my old boss's car, and she's like, "Yeah, take it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna look like the worst person driving this car."
I'm a Barbie girl.
The thing I had it going for it was black. I had like a little lip spoiler. It kind of looked cool.
As long as it was black.
But yeah, I was like hunked down in the seat. I'm like, "Don't see me in this car." But it was just. I mean, I kind of liked it because it was a bit funky. But compared to a Golf, the Golf just looks so bland.
Yeah,
it's just like an appliance.
I mean, I like the Golf, but yeah, it looks the same as any other.
Like when you consider the fact that if you want just a plain hatchback, you buy just the regular Golf TSI. Yeah, or a TDI if you're really environmentally conscious. Cough, cough. And you'd buy the stock Civic or the stock Focus. Yep. So when you want that, high performance flagship, you want
it to look the part.
Yeah, you want it to look the part. Otherwise, I mean, not that you should worry about what other people think of you, but if everyone's just going to think, oh, he's just driving a Golf around, like, I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like understated cars that are fast, and the Golf R is pretty much epitomizes that. Yeah, but hot hatches are supposed to be stupendously,
like where's the hot portion of that?
Yes,
yes.
I mean, and it's just like, everyone says, oh well, if you buy a Golf R, if you you really I want to be understated, but no one can't know what it's got, and potential wise, I should say. But having said that, though, do you remember back in the 90s and like mid 2000s, the type of people that were driving WRXs. Because you've got a WRX, Alan, and they've moved to Golf Rs, and you know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
They had the D-bag factor, yeah?
Yeah.
They've moved from Rexys to Golf Rs. They have. And it's like, and there's been no shame about it too. But don't get me wrong though, Golf Rs, especially with like that latest engine,
yeah,
they can tune, they get incredible tunability out of them. So Luca in Mexico came against a Golf R that had a bit of work, and this particular Golf R had a bigger turbo, APR tune, exhaust, this that, and the other, and it was like a 2.9 second car to 100.
Jeez,
and it's a Golf, you know. Like, I mean, that's with the DSG, and Luca actually went for a ride on it, and he's like, bloody hell, it redefined to him what fast was. He's like, this is crazy, for just like, you know, bolt on and. But it was running like crazy amounts of boost, and my brother was like, "Well, I haven't tried it," but he's like to me, "Do you reckon that engine's gonna hold together for this long, or is this?"
Well,
get the oil change every 1600k.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but don't Golfs, aren't they notorious for not working?
Yes, they're notorious. Well, VW in general are notorious for like.
They didn't used to be though. They used to be reliable.
I mean, look, original like, you know, Beetles and stuff was super easy to work on. They went for pretty much
original
forever.
Golfs were like. Really, you know, I remember people used to love the Golf.
Yeah. I mean, original Golf, like you still saw a lot of old, you know, like Mark I Golfs and stuff getting around, which is really, really, you know, really cool.
Yeah.
But
they got less reliable over time or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's like memes that even VW owners make about like VWs. It was just like, you know, the Batman symbol.
Yeah.
It was instead of that, it was a check engine light, and so it's like a VW crew. Car meet. That's where
like the bat signal on the clouds.
Clouds, yeah. So, I mean, but like, if you look online and the forums and people say they'll either have really good experiences with VW or really shocking experiences, and I know from working in the car industry that they do use a lot more oil, and they're very particular about parts, and they're quite expensive to maintain in some aspects. So. That's kind of weighs up a bit.
I mean, probably in Europe it'd be easier to run it.
I mean, yeah, that's where it's from.
Yeah, so it's like because we're in Australia, we have to like think about what are the parts available here and all that stuff.
But having said that, though, I mean, with all the the trade agreements we have now, like parts shouldn't be they shouldn't be allowed to make.
We always get the Australia tax.
Yeah,
and it's like just an unnecessary tax just because we're in Australia.
Yeah.
And because they say so, even though you can get parts overnight shipped from Japan. It shouldn't cost you a fortune.
It'll decimate all once it's done, though.
That's why, like, when they put Amazon, in Australia, I'm getting off topic, but, it's like Amazon in Australia, we're finally going to get the proper prices we deserve.
No, we're not.
No.
More expensive.
Still getting charged even more than ever.
I don't really know what to say about it and why it's that fact. But it was like, it's just because you're so far away. But I had this chat with a friend of mine. He had a Peugeot.
But they do it with digital things as well. It's like you download it. You don't have to have any freight or anything, and yet we still get the Australia tax.
Yeah, well, we still cop it, and it's kind of not fair.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But I was having this chat with an ex-work colleague of mine, and he had a Peugeot 206 GTI. And I was like to him, aren't parts on these pretty pricey? He's like, yeah, they are here. But he's like, I buy all my filters and all my brakes and stuff from overseas. He's like, buys them from France and ships it here. And he's like, it works out cheap for me to do that myself than it is to
go through Peugeot in Australia
or Peugeot or even aftermarket suppliers here.
Jeez.
So he's getting genuine parts and stuff over there cheaper than what you can get them for here. Even with the conversion, it's like way cheaper.
That's the thing. That's why people shop online, and then they complain, people don't buy Australian anymore. It's like, well, I wonder why.
I wonder why. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's really kind of annoying, to be honest with you. But yeah, Golf Rs, I think. While they are like a pretty damn fast car, they've kind of taken the WRX owners and
they have,
and people that buy WRXs now or Rexys now have either driven them before, like are much more mature owners, have respect for the WRX, or a genuine enthusiast, you don't really get many of the Ram Raider factor anymore. You get in a WRX that you used to get in the early 90s and 90s and 2000s. But so this leaves the Type R. Where does the Type R sit? I think it's because I've only seen like probably 4. I've seen 6 so far in my time. I saw a red one fly past me on the Western Ring Road on my way to work, and it looked like it was brand new. Like it was a chicken. She stole my.
Because it was red.
It was red because red cars go faster, as MythBusters have proved, I believe. And it looked good. It kind of looked. I reckon it looks better in the red than it looks in the white. When I saw one in gunmetal grey, and I mentioned it a few weeks ago on my show, I'm like, I saw one on the way here. I'm like, I thought it bloody looked epic. I reckon I'm like, yeah, that is a car. I would totally buy one of those because it looks that good.
When you get your Focus RS, are you going to get...
When I get my RS.
Yeah, are you going to get gunmetal grey or...
It's either... I love it in the gunmetal grey.
Yeah.
I love it in the white. But, I mean, the blue's the colour. It's like the halo colour.
I don't like the blue.
So I don't know what to do.
You just buy it in blue and make sure every day is overcast and a little rain.
Get it in grey, then it'll match all your other cars.
But my cars are a miserable shade of grey. Like I've got the Typhoon at silver, and it's like a transition of grey. It's like that, and then the Merc's like a medium grey, and then the Laser's black. So it's and the car I bought a Vini. It's like it's like in between the Merc and the Typhoon.
It's a gradient. We talked about last week. Just add the Focus RS to it, and you got the whole shades of grey.
What am I doing?
You gotta break it apart, get that blue, that sweet blue.
That's yeah.
I mean,
Rexys
always look good in blue, but other cars.
I mean that's what Rexy's known for though. Like, but these other cars, like like the RS, especially with the last one, they had the green. This is what they want. This one they got the nitrous blue. Like their halo colors look pretty damn crazy. But they only come in like that one car. Whereas Subarus always had that blue and always had that green and always had that white.
Yeah.
So I reckon that Subarus can attest that. Like you buy a WX, I'll get it in blue.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh yeah, that's all right.
But like Focus RS and the other cars is like, oh, I don't know, I don't really like it.
It's an acquired taste. I'm not gonna lie.
Just get black. Black's always good.
Well, that's what Monte Carlo's got.
Yeah.
They got a black one.
Yeah.
And I reckon it looks pretty good in black. It looks sinister in black, I reckon, because it's all blacked out. But I refuse to buy another black car again after having the laser, because like after 1 minute it's dirty.
Yeah.
And it's the black. I'll tell you this: black looks the best when it's clean. It's the best of any color when it's clean.
Yeah, but it doesn't stay that way for long. 20
seconds and the car is dirty again. Look, we're gonna get to a quick break. Give a quick shout out to my nana. I know you're listening, so. I hope you're feeling well and getting better. And we'll get to a quick song. We'll be right back after this. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. That was the presets with Talk Like That. Bit of a throwback to our high school years, guys.
So good.
Appreciate the presets.
Presets are good. That's probably their best album. Apocalypse. Yeah, they've just released a new album. About to release a new album.
Oh, okay. Good.
They've released a new song. It's called "Do What You Want," and it really, it's like dirty presets, which is a good preset. So I think. So yeah,
they bring back memories. I think "If I Know You" was from Apocalypse as well.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite song.
I've got that on here. I think we'll end on that one because that's a good tune. So we've talked about the Type R. We've talked a bit about the RS. We've talked about the RS's issues. Now we're going to be talking about the Civic Type R. Now, because I haven't seen that many on the road, I've actually seen. You see golf cars everywhere. They're like Mustangs. They're absolutely everywhere.
Always driving aggressively. Always fighting around.
Yep. Yeah. That's exactly.
When you get two of them together on the freeway, everyone moves out of the right lanes, and then they just have their own. Well, adventure.
As I've said, like the Melbourne car scene is just full of Golfs and like the Toyota 86s now. But the Civic Type R. So people who buy the Civic Type R, well, especially this one, know what it's capable of, and they know that while it's outdated in technical terms compared to the all-wheel drives, RS and Type R, it is still quicker around a track. It uses a slight weight. Honda always make a good shifter. Apparently the VTEC turbo engine that this has got is a revelation. It's a really, really good engine. While it doesn't have the charisma and crackling popping that the RS does, it's like a really, really strong engine. So I don't know if if any tuners have got their hands on them yet, because I know if tuners have got their hands on RSs and they're doing big improvements, but I'm not too sure what the Type R.
Was this the first Turbo Type R, or were there
There was a Turbo Type R before this as well, but that one was like really really short lived. This one's like they're big kind of. This is what the Type R is going to be.
Because now you have VTEC with power.
Yeah, with low end. But yeah, apparently it's got because it's got a really trick limited slip diff. Really puts the power down well. But the people I've seen driving them are not young. Like they're like
middle-aged businessmen. Like
bordering on middle age, retiring age. Because I've seen like today the one I saw in the white. It was like a really really old man driving it.
Do they just like get confused with the deal? Like, this one's a premium one, yes, I'll take it.
I'll buy the best Civic you've got. You're going to be spending $60,000. I want that one.
You get old enough that you get disposable income. It's like now I can actually buy the car that I wanted when I was younger.
But you don't have the reaction time left.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I mean, the new Civic Type R. It's copped a lot of hate because of what it looks like, but I reckon as previously mentioned, I reckon it looks hot. It looks epic in gunmetal grey.
Yeah,
it'd be the only color I like it in. But from a capabilities point of view, it is a very very capable car. And I reckon it's that and the RS for like excitement factor pretty high up there.
Yeah.
In terms of on the road, they're all pretty stiff, but from all accounts, the Golf R's are a bit more of a compliant, everydayer. Whereas the RS, you will get out of it and you'll be like, yeah, I've got a wrecked back. But in all, I mean,
the RS service plan should come with like a chiropractor kind of booking as well. When you go for the service, you go to the chiropractor.
they've got like a bench next to the lift, next to the hoist there. They're just like, all right, the owner can get a back massage while all the car's getting serviced. But no, it's I don't know if I had to pick one personally, because I love the RS, I would pick an RS. But the Type R is kind of an impressive bit of kit, and in gunmetal grey, I would happily rock one every day.
I definitely agree. I'd say out of the three, I'd pick the RS in the blue and make sure every day is overcast and rainy.
The only days you're taking it out.
We'll just keep it in the garage. But definitely between the Golf R and the Civic Type R, I'd go for the Civic Type R. Just the Golf R, it's definitely a good car that also keeps up. It's just there's the whole stigma between the owners club, I guess you could say. Yeah. But just generally, it is when you want the hot hatchback, you want a hot hatchback. You want
it to look stupid. Yeah. You want it to be crazy.
You don't want just a plain Jane.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the Golf does lose on that.
It does. And I think that's what on many people's factor. They're like, yeah, I mean, while it's a very capable car and can be made stupendously fast, it just still looks like a Golf.
Which you could lower it some more. And then put some even bigger rims on it.
I mean, people like there's this one guy's put fender flares and like bagged it, and it looks not up to my taste, but each to their own. But I mean, it's just something about them that's kind of boring. It's just very clinical. I had this chat with Mr. XR62 Anthony and his brother the other day, and we're like, yeah, like VW products, like they're very just they're clinical. They do what they do, but they're like an appliance. I mean, in terms of, where VW's seen now, they were like from Toyota back in the 90s or early 2000s with Camrys and Corollas, just very, this is what they do it well, and they're reliable, and they work. I don't know about the reliable part with
not
VW,
anymore.
With VW. But and in terms of like just not having much feeling, it's kind of what
so it's more
Golf is.
They're building and selling the car for the sake of it. Because there are other competitors out there that have those cars. They got to fill their little void in the market. There's no soul in it though. So
yeah, it feels soulless. I mean, look, your dad's new car. It's a VW product. It's got the same engine as the Golf R.
Yeah.
Interior's VW. It's a nice car. I haven't personally been driven in it. I'd assume it'd be a similar feeling. Have you been in it yet, James?
I still haven't been in it.
Okay.
He's had it for like a week now. I still haven't even been in it.
But see, the reason why I like the Octavia VRS over a Golf R is because one, they just they're not around, and 2, I reckon it looks better.
They're a bit different, yeah.
And they kind of a good looking car.
And technically, it is a hatchback because the boot is connected to the rear windscreen.
It's got a bit more character than Golf because a Golf is just like it's
seen it,
whatever. But the VRS was like, oh, this is a bit interesting,
bit new.
I mean, people say, oh, well, what do you think about Porsches? The 911s haven't changed you haven't changed the design in 50 years. Well, I mean, but that's what Porsche does, And
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I guess you could say the same with VW.
With VW, I mean, they're all in the same kind of company. They're all owned by the Volkswagen Group.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. Oh. But yeah, I mean, same thing applies with like Porsche 911s. Like while they're pure driving excellence, they're a bit clinical. They don't have that mongrel factor, which is like what the Type R and the Golf and the Focus RS have, and I think that's why people really really like them, just because they're that bit extra over the top.
Yeah,
which is
meaner looking,
but also it's got character, and it's a car that you can say, like you can look back on 20 years later and say, oh yeah, that was a hilarious car, like it was stupid but it was funny, like whereas like from all accounts when the Golf R is just like. It was good, but
it did what it was supposed to do.
But it was, it wasn't. They're not memorable.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to look at all 3 of those cars and like look back in 20 years, well, which one are you going to talk about? You'll be saying, okay, I remember the Type R was the fastest front wheel drive car of its time. It was faster than a Zonda around a Nürburgring. Oh, the Focus RS drift mode. All the crazy things it did. Whereas the VW, Golf R, because it's been the same for like so long. It's just like, well, it's like the previous ones, like with the VR6 engines, the Golf R32s and stuff. Well, they had all-wheel drive. They had a really characterful engine and an engine that was that actually kind of made that car that I'd buy a Golf R32 for that reason, because it was really characterful. It had more than a GTI did, but it was slower than a GTI, but it was. It had something about it that was different and it kind of made it, worthwhile.
Yeah.
So, I think VW need to really like especially with the Golf, I need to give it something with the next gen. Need to really make it pop. That to say, okay, you want to play the hyper hatch game? We can do it better. And VW, I mean, they've got money. They can do whatever the hell they want. Like they're the biggest car company in the world. So, they. As I said, I get why they're understated, but you're in like a hot hatchback world, like a hyper hatch world.
Yeah,
now. I mean, you got competition from Mercedes with the A45 AMG, which you can get with all the options like the body kit.
Yeah,
and they look stupid, and it's a Mercedes. I mean, Mercedes are like supposed to be
all the other hyper hatchbacks are like PH fat.
Yeah,
and the Golf is just like looks like the Golf.
Looks like
all the other ones I have like really mean stance and like the guards and stuff. But
no, I totally agree with that. And like I mean just looking at the pictures on the computer here, that comparing when they're done up like nice with the nice set of wheels and
the Golf's nice, but
it's a nice car. Yeah, but it's just like in terms of against like a Focus RS or a Civic Type R even has to be in the in the gunmetal grade
with the red trim
with the red seats. I mean the interior looks pretty special. Have you seen the interior of one of these, Alan?
Not too much.
They're pretty damn crazy.
Yeah,
You've got like red seat belts, red seats, red everywhere. It's a car that lets you know you're in a Type R. Whereas if you're in a Golf R, you just get like the little R emblem and very just full of grey and just bland. Whereas
what's the STI like compared to the Golf?
Well, an STI's again they've got the latest one. Even throughout the generation, they've always had like blue accents and like made you know that you're in an STI.
Oh, okay. Why don't they do that for the Golf? For the Golf R?
Well, yeah, like it needs those little things to make you feel like you're driving that special car.
Yeah.
I mean, going through pictures now of the STI, you can see like the
it looks mean. It looks like the other one, the RS and the Civic Type R. There's too many R's. I keep getting them all mixed up. But the Golf
WRX,
the Golf R, this looks kind of normal.
I mean, so okay, to throw a spanner in the works with these 3 hot hatchbacks, Subaru WRX STI. I mean, the Evo's gone now. Like, they don't make them anymore. I know Alan would still take a WRX. Or would you, Alan?
Well,
would you? Okay,
2017, yes.
2017, like the latest model STI. You're the WRX man. Would you take? Would you take one over an RS? I mean, Subaru's pretty much like kept it, and they've. I mean, the latest gen WRX is a really, really good car, and an STI trim it's even better.
I feel I'd give it to the test drive.
Okay.
Like there's such little difference between them for me in terms of making a choice.
Yeah.
That I definitely would have to test drive both and see which one made me feel better.
Okay.
And that's the one I'd go with, because I can honestly, even though like I said, I'm a Subaru man, I can see myself going either way.
Okay. Because people have, from all accounts, the reason people are buying RS is because they make it's just the experience, the the raw factor. It's the same thing with the Type R. You're buying a Type R because it's you feel like it's like a go-kart, and you're feeling it. You hop in it, you're engaged. Well, you're in a Type R. This is what it's all about. Again, Subaru are like that. Subaru have been plugging along with the WRX, and they haven't really said no to it like Mitsubishi killed off the Evo. So I reckon that if you had to choose, and if you didn't have to have a hatchback, you could go for an STI, and you would not be disappointed.
But what's Paul Walker's Impreza hatchback?
Yeah,
they still make those, don't they?
That shape, no.
Oh, okay, because I was saying
that was the previous gen. Yeah,
that would be a good sort of hyper hatchback to match up with the ones we're talking about.
I mean, yeah, in WRX STI trim, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be if they had the modern incarnation of that. Incarnation
well,
of
if they don't have any more, then we can't compare it. But yeah,
I mean, you can still say, okay, well, for a second-hand option, a WRX STI, and they hold their value crazily well, would be a good option if you say, okay, I'm getting all-wheel drive, I'm getting a really powerful engine, I'm getting a Subaru, which is they're pretty reliable. I mean, as I said, every car has their faults, but you're getting a tried and true rally-bred rally car for the road.
You can also make the argument that while over the past 20 years the WRX has changed a lot, it also always kind of remains noticeable.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, like we were saying with the Golf, it's like, oh, it looks the same.
Yeah.
So it's like you can make the Golf different while still being that
Golf,
same. Yeah, it's like, oh wow, that's a Golf, but it's the crazy PH fat version. Yeah. Like the new Rex is like the PH fat version of the previous version. It still looks like a Rex though.
Yeah, and you can say, okay, that's a Rex. Or like, it's when you see like a nice car down a road. Yeah, you say, oh, okay, that's a wow, that's an RS or that's a WRX or. With a Golf R, it's just like you don't get that sensation, and I'm not bagging on VW. I'm not bagging on the Golf R. I know because I know it's a very good and capable car, but I just reckon they're lacking that X factor that those other cars have.
And it does definitely make a difference. Just today, I was on the way to just the shops to get some food, and some young fellas on their bikes. They were quite a distance away from me. One of them ended up noticing my car, and he quickly yelled at the others and started pointing. And it's just. It's something like if I was in a very plain kind of car that was, performance oriented, they wouldn't have had the same reaction. Yep. It's just, even though, like I said, you shouldn't worry about what other people think. It's just something a little nice. Like your car is there; it's noticeable that it is what it is. It's not going to be mistaken for, Well, unless a current affair gets hold of it, they'll mistake it as a blue Mitsubishi Evolution or something.
Yeah. But I guess
a blue Nissan.
That's what you were saying before, Matt. Whereas like Golf owners are like, yeah, but it's like a sleeper. You don't really know that it's really fast. It's like, but it looks like the normal Golf.
That's the point of a hot hatchback.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be
that's
stupid.
kind of what we're saying. Is like it's supposed to be
over the top,
crazy.
We're going sleeper. That's it. We're just going to buy a Honda Odyssey, put a giant turbo in it.
Yeah,
start driving that around.
But see, look. I love sleepers too, and I love performance cars that are that
understated.
Like for example, going back a few years with FPV with the F6E and stuff, it was like a Fairmont, like it was like a G6E, or even a G6E turbo is a perfect example. It looks like a Falcon, goes like stink, but you can tell it's a G6E turbo. You're like, oh, geez, it's got the G6E turbo wheels, badging and stuff. It's like, oh, I get it. Like that for that car, it's like a luxury express, and it's supposed to be understated. But a hot hatchback is not supposed to be understated. Look, we're out of time. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
It's fun.
Tune in the same time next week, 7 p.m. For Car Talk with Matty J. Like and share our Facebook page, is CarTorque, TORQUE with Matty J. We're always putting updates, and if you missed any of our previous shows, all our episodes are on iTunes and on Shout Engine. The links are on our Facebook page. James, give your show a plug.
Man vs. Movies every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on 98.9 Northwest FM. Please like and share the Man vs. Movies Facebook page, and you can find the podcast previous episodes on Shout Engine, iTunes, or on your regular podcasting app.
And anyone you want to shout out to, Alan?
No, just me. I'm cool.
Shout out to my WRX. I love you. Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to head out on a song Alan recommended. So the presets, If I Know You, a really, really cool track. It's slow presets, and it's a really meaningful track. Again, back in our year 12 days. So I will see you guys next week. Take it easy.
This is professional radio, gentlemen.
And it's front-wheel drive.
Scotty, have you got anyone you want to thank?
Just myself.
And now we do the after hours. Dun, dun, dun.
Gentlemen, what would you go for?
Dacia Sandero.
Okay, and because it's not a supercar.
But it is.
It's not.
Automotive perfection comes in the form of two letters, A and U.
Long live my LTD.